Thank you for joining us on our 5th episode of Unbreakable Mothers. Today I have a very special guest, Miss Amber Ortiz, and we're going to discuss motherhood and what that looks like as a social media influencer raising teenage boys. Let's dive in.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So you're a mom.
Yes.
How many do you have? What are their ages?
Well, we've got 3 total. One is 22. He's going to Arizona State, so he's in college right now. But what we're dealing with currently is 16-year-old boy twins. So it's definitely a lot. They're juniors in high school.
16 boy twins. Jeez, that's a lot.
Yes, it's intense. Like 13 to 16 is like testing your will for everything.
Literally.
Yeah.
Mine is 8. I have an 8-year-old daughter, and I see little glimpses. She's just starting to become opinionated and have her own beliefs and opinions and thoughts. So I fear the day, the days that you are in right now, but you handle it very gracefully, and you seem to have a pretty good rap on things.
Yeah.
So tell me more.
Well, being a tough mom is obviously tough. It's a bummer being kind of the bad guy in the situation. My husband likes to play good guy, bad guy, and he's always gets to be the good guy, and I get to be the bad guy. Unless it gets to something that's really serious, and then he'll take, that role of the bad guy. But I was raised by a really strong woman, and for me, raising strong men who will be good husbands and good fathers and members of society is a big deal. And
Absolutely.
I'm going to be tough on them, and I'm going to teach them how to respect a woman and how to respect their home. I started teaching them how to cook at 9 years old, and they're like master chefs. It's absolutely incredible.
Ooh.
Like they will be great husbands. They're going to be a great man in a family. And I feel like a lot of people, think that sounds crazy to start saying, oh, they're going to be great husbands and great fathers, when they're only 16. But, going to Charlie Kirk, what I was saying is, you don't just date for the sake of dating, right? You're not there to fill space with somebody.
It's not a distraction.
Yeah. You're supposed to be intentionally dating to find your mate, to find your person, to be married to have children with. And it's, unfortunately, like you have to go through a few toads to get to your prince.
Typically, usually.
But I want my sons to, value women and understand that that's the ultimate goal, is to be a good husband.
And that's beautiful. I mean, you're absolutely correct. The foundation is huge. You can't start teaching them that in their 20s or what have you.
It'll definitely be too late.
Yeah. The foundation starts honestly long before 16. I think where I'm at with 8, even 5, those
They're
principles.
So cuddly though. During that, I'm like, I miss mine. Like 4 to 9, they were so cuddly and like, they're just getting stinky, but they're like,
that's so cute.
They get opinionated and they get sassy. Like right around 10, I feel like they got like a little sassy and manipulative and sneaky. Like you start to see these little things around 10 because they're testing their waters, they're testing their independence. And as it gets older, it gets a lot harder, a lot worse. 13 to 16 was really hard. When our sons, started sneaking out when we first moved here, which was really hard because, again, I have like a full control issue. So like trying to catch them in the act of like sneaking out.
Are you a detective?
It was literally
most women are.
Yeah, it was my full-time job. Like I all of a sudden became like the FBI of the house. But it's very stressful. Like I was spiking my cortisol like no other. Like I was like, oh my gosh, and I don't drink coffee. I don't do any of that stuff. So it was like burnout central because I'm trying to, find the boys and find out where they are. But my son got hit by a car and he wasn't paying attention in the middle of Veterans, literally got hit by a car, broke his fib, had a compound fracture of his tibia, and then he also broke his hip day before Mother's Day. So I spent the Mother's Day in the hospital with him, and I thought for sure this would keep them from sneaking out ever again. I was like, oh, yeah, this is like never again. Because for me, if I got hit by a car, I would never sneak out again. Like I was like, this is God
It's a come to Jesus moment.
Yeah, like I saved you. I plucked you. I saved you.
Yeah.
Like don't sneak out again. No, by the time I was done with wound care and we got, his wound was all healed, he was back sneaking out again. It's just, it's hard. It's, outside influences also, like our boys are very popular. They sort of walked in popular because
Yeah.
they're from California, so
Cool
they've
kids.
always got this like, this thing about California boys, and then
Mom and dad.
right, then you've probably got the most famous dad in the entire county,
Absolutely.
or
Everyone knows
or
Tito.
several counties, so. There's a lot for them to live up to also. So
High standards.
I tell them a lot. I said, your decisions and your poor decisions also fall on us, and they have to understand that. So I feel like that's a huge weight also, right? Like if you're like, listen, you screw up, they don't see Journey and Jesse. They see Tito Ortiz's kids. So that's like instant, like think about that kind of heaviness. I'm like, you guys really have to take that into consideration.
Yeah.
Because it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Like it makes you super popular immediately, but you also, all the shame that you bring comes to dad's name, whatever you do if you make poor decisions.
And it can flip that quickly too.
Big time.
I mean, yeah, social media, they have no problem going back and forth, right?
Yeah. Well, and you have the keyboard warriors who think that they can talk about people and say things they would never say to anybody's faces. Yeah. Our boys fortunately don't get bullied. They've been wrestling and doing jujitsu since they were 4 years old. So they're very tough. Oh. They're very opinionated. They're very different.
Can they knock someone out like their dad? I got to ask.
I would say so. They're into this weird slap fighting thing.
Boxing.
Yeah. It's horrible. Like they have videos of it on their phone. I'm like, can you not do that?
That was around in my teen years as well. I'm very familiar with slap boxing. That's so funny.
Is this? This is the weirdest. I was just talking about Red Rover from my teen years, where you would like to pick the weakest person to come and run towards your line, and you just clothesline them. Like that's what we did. We did not slap box, but we definitely it was survival of the fittest with Red Rover, because you would send over the weakest, or you would try to go to the weakest link, the arms that you knew you could break through.
Yeah. That's so funny. No, slapboxing is definitely like the softer version, I think.
I think so too. But yeah, my boys they have videos on their phones. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't do this at school. Like, are you insane?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So at school, what other kind of things come up for you with them?
So for me, like most frequently and most concerning is vapes. I've been speaking to Erica Donalds and Byron Donalds also about this, because I really think there needs to be an initiative to stop
Absolutely
the vapes in schools. Like, here's the problem is that, they lock the bathrooms during, breaks. They lock the bathrooms during class exchange. Like, it's crazy that they have to do that first.
Yeah.
Second, they have metal detectors in the school, but the kids have figured out, like, if they hold it above the metal detector, when they hold their Chromebook above the metal detector, like, they're getting it right.
They're so smart.
They're way too smart.
Yeah.
So, they know how to get it in, and they know how to, and, it's everywhere. Like, it's in the bathrooms, and it's not just nicotine, it's weed also. And it's gotten to the point where, the nurse at my school told me she has kids in her office weekly having seizures because of vapes. So for me to know that, it scares me.
Terrifying as a mother.
And the fact that vapes are forever chemicals, they're also irreversible damage. So when you get popcorn lung, there's no cure.
Nothing.
So it
lung transplant, and it's very difficult.
It never goes back to how it was. So like a cigarette smoker, if you were to stop, yes, your lungs are messed up, but they will heal.
The cilia or what have you regrows. Yes.
But with a vape, it never does. So you can never regrow that damage. You can never fix that damage. And that for me is so scary, because vapes are geared towards children. They're marketed towards children. The flavors are marketed towards children. They can buy it black market, which is terrifying. So on Telegram, WhatsApp, and Snapchat, I have found conversations with these big groups of kids who are selling vape tips that are all like like, here, buy a bag.
You don't know what's in it.
5 to 10 vape tips. Yeah. And you can buy this for $50 or something crazy. And then the kids are like selling it to their friends. And it's like so scary that this is available. And they're actually hot wiring the vape tips at school. And this is another thing that's like totally scary.
I didn't even realize this was going on.
So the vape tips now, you don't know what's in them, but they are finding fentanyl. They're finding morphine. God. They're finding hydrocodone. They're finding MDMA in the vapes. So not only does it have THC and whatever else in it,
Oils that aren't
but
supposed to
all
be inhaled.
synthetics,
Yeah.
right. But then they're putting other synthetic things in there to make it feel like it's THC,
Euphoric.
which is scary.
That's terrifying.
They also take the wires, they cut the wires. So, like, I noticed a cut wire in my son's backpack when we first moved here. And I was like, what'd you do? He's like, oh, I broke it on accident. Then I found another one. And I was like, 2 is not
Not a
gonna happen.
coincidence.
So I Googled it. And I'm not a big Googler, but I Googled it. And
Yeah.
it literally says what they do is they cut the line, they plug it into their Chromebook, and then they take the 2 sides, they tear it apart, and they literally hot wire the tip, which sounds terrifying to me. Like it's gonna blow up in your
Why
mouth.
can't we use these smarts
Right.
to
I'm like, you're MacGyver and you're
build
learning-
robots and
Right. Yeah.
solve world
have,
problems?
Right. Have straight A's before you're wiring a hot,
I'm
a vape.
impressed, but in like the worst way,
yeah,
if that makes sense. You know what I
terrifying.
mean?
I was like, that's a real thing. So I started posting about it. I'm like, if you find a
Hot
wire in your kid's
wiring
backpack, just so you know, like
to
this
your
is a-
Chromebook. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Yeah, way intense.
And I know even with like the phones, I had another guest on here, Leticia, and she was talking about like the phones. When I was in school, if you got caught with your phone was taken.
Yeah.
We either dropped phones at the door. If you did have it on silent, you better not get caught kind of deal.
Right.
It's not a reckless thing. She was telling me that they encourage them to have phones,
Yeah.
I guess for like calculators
Oh,
or research.
For everything. Like
But-
I have a teacher that won't let my son turn his assignments in via a picture on his Chromebook. He has to have a picture on his phone. And I said, tell your teacher you don't have good grades because of his class and you don't have a phone.
You
And-
mentioned that at the dinner last week that
Yeah.
you were like, well, find another way to submit it
Yeah.
because you don't have a phone.
Yeah.
And that honestly was so inspiring because it's so easy to just be like,
Yeah.
okay, here,
No.
you know.
Well, and we're very strict about it. Our boys didn't get cell phones until they were 14 because
That's
we
a
read
normal
that
age.
Well, Steve Jobs didn't even give his sons. He's the creator of Apple.
Right.
His kids did not get cell phones till they were 14 either.
Yeah.
But we've had the phones longer than my boys have had the phones because whenever they screw up or they are bad with their grades or if they're not, acting right at home, like
Right.
the phone's gone, they have to earn it back. And like if it's a grade thing, like we don't just give it back to them immediately when their grades change. We make them hold that grade for a week.
Consistency.
Yeah. So I'm like, cool. Now that you got your grade back up,
Keep
hold
it.
it for a week and then I'll give you back your phone.
Oh, I love that.
And, people are shocked. Like their school counselors and teachers are shocked that they don't have their phones. Like I've been stopped and they're like, how do you do it? Like, and I'm like, what? And they're like, how do you just take their phone? And they're like, cool with it. I said, because they're super used to it. They know there's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah.
And they told me that they've been called to cars to drag girls screaming and crying out of the car to go to school because their mom won't give them their phone. And I thought to myself, man, I am like not that mom. Like if you
How
tried to pull that with me,
embarrassing.
I would literally
I
grab
would
my child
whoop-
out of the car by their hair and whoop that ass right there in front of
I-
everyone. Like I just
How embarrassing. I would never.
Oh.
I would and I even think like with my little one
Yeah.
now, like I would never allow that.
no. But
Oh my
they get
goodness.
so locked in. So like
It's an addiction.
no, when my
It
boys
is.
were really little, they were allowed to have iPads and then they would just throw them on the ground. I mean, this is like a $200, $300 thing. Like,
Right.
and they were just like, didn't care. And I was like, no more.
Yeah.
Done.
You
And
don't
they
respect
would
it?
lose it. Like, act like we had literally just killed their dog, like bawling. Ah! And I'm like, if it makes you feel that emotional, it's not good. I'm like, go play in your playroom where you have blocks and colors and painting
Absolutely.
and all these fun things. And then once those were gone for like a couple of weeks, they didn't even want them
They didn't care anymore.
because they were like, oh, let's go to the park.
Out of
Let's-
sight, out of mind.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's so important. I think that parents need to be a lot stronger and a lot stiffer about it. Like I see people self-soothe their kids at dinner tables with iPads and iPhones, and it's not good because they
Yeah.
need to be well adjusted. They need to be able to have a meal in a public place and behave.
Right.
It's just that's how you teach your children morals and manners. Like you can't self-soothe. They're going to be an adult who can't have a conversation. They're going to be an adult who can't self-regulate because they're so used to diving into their phone when they're sad or anxious or,
Absolutely.
not getting their way.
Absolutely. It's the attention span
Yeah.
that they can't hold the attention span for too long, and it's trained by the screens.
Yes.
That's so scary. Honestly, I struggle with it myself as an adult even. So I catch myself like, I tell my daughter, but then I'm a businesswoman.
Yeah.
Everything I do
On
is
social
from
media.
my phone. You know, there's social media, there's emails, there's quotes. I was telling you, I research a lot, like if it's a job or just anything. So I've had to really check myself in this last year. Like, she kind of checked me like, well, you're on your phone, Mom. And she's right. What can I say to that? So it's kind of gotten me in check a little more too.
Well, here's the thing though. There has to be a standard set by, age and by appropriate time, right? You're using your time for business. You're not, you don't get into a scroll hole every day. I occasionally get into a scroll hole.
We all do, time to time.
I've watched like all these murder mysteries in a row on TikTok. I'm like, okay, get out of there. We get in there.
Yeah.
But, I work from my phone. So I know that my phone is going to be attached to me and I'm going to be on it most of the day. But I do need to make sure that I'm using my time wisely
and distinguish the two.
Yes.
You're very smart in saying that, because I can't just put my phone down. Like, I do that sometimes. I have mommy and me day and it can wait. I don't care what it is. It can wait.
Absolutely.
Weekends are big for that. Sundays, family and church, but it's always with me.
Yeah.
It's right next to me right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's distinguishing. And do you do that just with like, hey, I'm the mom?
Yeah.
I'm the mom. It's okay. When you're a dad or a mom, you can do these things.
Well, because their time on their phone is only for social, is only for information gathering, right? So everything they're getting from TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram, like, can be negative and it could be positive. So sadly, they're going to be fueled by whatever their algorithm is showing them. So if they get into an algorithm that's showing them nothing but little kids that are vaping and partying and thinking it's cool, and they're all of a sudden like, this is fueling that like nicotine response, that high response. Whereas like if they, I try to send them, a lot of times I'll find young adults that are really faith-based, that read the Bible on their social media.
And there's a lot more of that now.
So much.
It's really inspiring.
So
I love it.
I try to like trick their algorithm. Like,
you're trying to control the algorithm. Super mama.
I'm sending you nothing but Christian stuff and good son stuff and praise your son and pray for your son stuff, because it's like, if you can trick that, if they start watching those reels, like it will change their algorithm. So I do the same thing to my husband.
You're so smart though, to like, you're like, I'm not even going to try to convince them individually. I'm just going to go right to Meta and we're going to figure this out.
Yeah. I'm going to team up with the algorithm.
And that's a huge, probably the main reason I wanted you on this podcast. You're just very fierce and unapologetic and authentic. I've met a lot of wonderful women out here. I can't say that all are as, authentic or true. And then to know you have twin boys at home too. It's like, for me with my 8-year-old, I'm like, give me the secret, what's the, what magic pill are you taking to have your sanity?
I feel like, you have to find things that like bring you joy and fill your cup, right? So like I have a Bible prayer group that I have on Fridays. I have multiple businesses that I do that are full of incredible, inspiring women who are not in competition with each other.
Girls.
They're into inspiring each other, encouraging, building up, like being courageous with each other, going past our weak point, or what we see as our weak point, getting out of our comfort zone, which I love, because I get to be a leader in that aspect, like especially with like my Mon 8 team, like I get to check in with the girls and be like, okay, step outside your comfort zone. How many people have you talked to? Like, be bold. And now even more, like I encourage people to be bold with their faith and be bold with their beliefs and be bold with their authenticity. Like, we're not here on social media and we're not here on this planet to be halfway in, to be lukewarm faithful, to be lukewarm who we are, to be lukewarm about our family. We are here to be bold and powerful and like forthcoming with everything. Like, why would you want to follow someone who's lukewarm? Like it wouldn't inspire you.
You mentioned earlier fitting into a box.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps, as you're speaking right now,
Yeah.
that's, they try to put you in a box
Yeah.
and maintain, but there's so much more.
Yeah.
And I love that you guys encourage each other. I feel like as I was growing up, girls were just mean. I didn't have a lot of girlfriends. This in Naples and this past 2 years, I've had the most girlfriends I've ever had, and genuine girlfriends.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's just a change of times, or if it's because I'm older.
Probably a little bit of both. Like, you know, even in social media where they tell you need a niche, right? And whenever I talk to a lady who's like, I don't know what my niche is, and I'm trying to niche and get followers and do this, and I'm like, well, here's the thing. I say you can call us onions or you can call us diamonds. I prefer diamonds. We're multifaceted, right?
Yeah.
We're not niche. We don't niche down. Like I don't. I'm like, I have
do many things.
Yeah, I do many things.
Yeah.
But I also am passionate about those many things. Like I'm not going to talk about something I'm lukewarm about. Again, like if I'm lukewarm about it, not going to talk about it.
Right.
But if I'm passionate about it, you're going to hear all about it. So I think that as you grow older too, your discernment for the kind of women you allow in your circle also changes.
Yeah.
And you almost feel their vibes before they talk. So I feel like that's why you're probably finding better girls now.
Women's intuition. I've said that a lot lately, that I used to think I had anxiety.
Yeah.
And maybe I do to an extent, but I always read it as anxiety.
Yeah.
And it's not anxiety. There's a reason you feel comfortable around certain people or at home and not around others.
Yes.
And as women, I think just naturally women
strong.
have that stronger than men.
Yeah.
That's our God-given role, right? And we have to learn to listen to it and hone in on it and not fight against it. I'm very I've mentioned before, like against big pharma and all that kind of stuff. You know, they say anxiety. Well, let's look at it. Why are you anxious?
Right.
What's going on? Let's not just medicate it.
Most women, and this is, I know this is mom off topic mom.
We're moms, so anything goes.
But yeah, when, I started going through perimenopause in, my early 40s, I actually started late, thankfully. You can start as early as 35, which is crazy and scary. It starts with like things like frozen shoulder and brain fog and those sort of things. But I also have ADHD really bad. So perimenopause meet ADHD is like a hurricane. It's really like it's like two giant storms have crashed together.
Aww.
So just recently someone said it was cougar puberty. And I was like, okay, great. So I love how we map this.
Good terminology.
I've got cougar puberty while my children are going through puberty. So it is like War of the Worlds at my house right now.
Forever growing and evolving together. Yeah.
So, there's a lot of stuff that we go through emotionally and hormonally. And, I wish that more women talked. Like even someone like myself, I wish my mom told me more about going through menopause and perimenopause and the stressors. Like I just thought she was crazy. Like, I was like, oh.
I just thought my mom was nuts.
Yeah. Like I was just like, oh, mom's being crazy, mom again. Like that's my thought as a teen, I didn't get it. And she didn't talk about it. But I'm really open about it. Like I talk about it a lot on my social media and I talk to my kids. I'm like, listen, I just want you to know, like when I lose my shit, right? Like when I get upset, like,
this is why
I already have this like compiling of like emotions and stressors. And I go, let me just tell you what you think about during the day. You get up, you got to shower, you want to smell good for school, you want to brush your teeth, and you want to wear a cool outfit. That's your thought in the morning. Let me just start with the first couple of thoughts I have in the morning. I get up and I go, did the boys brush their teeth? Did they do their hair? Did they make their bed? Did they remember their wrestling stuff? Did they take a snack? Did they eat anything for breakfast? Did they have a protein shake? Well, that's just you. Then I think, okay, the cats need to be fed. Is their water full? Is their litter box full? Did I change out the laundry? What time does dad have to be up? Do I have anything to do today? Now, how much social media should I post?
Absolutely.
Those are just my morning thoughts. I go, just so you guys are aware, that's just the like couple of hours when I first wake up. I go, that's not everything. Like that's just to start the day. So, I want them to see like, my brain is working at like this high functioning capacity for everyone in the family. And then I also have to fit myself in, right? So I have to do something for me. And just since right now I can't work out, which is really hard. I can't work out. I can't drink for 3 months. I can't work out for 3 months. I can't get a massage for 3 months. And those are my things.
Those
right?
are my things.
Like having a nice glass of wine, at the end of the week, or having a nice, massage every month, or working out every day. Like those are my kind of releases.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, what do I do? What do I do with myself? Like it's been really hard. Like I'm like, okay, now,
You're figuring
I'm
it out,
I'm
right?
gonna garden now, and I'm gonna like.
Do you like gardening?
Yeah, I love it.
See, you're finding new passions.
Yeah.
And you did that as sort of like a sacrifice because of a treatment that you had, right? So it was a bigger picture sort of.
Big time.
So even that is a strength in of itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you're able to be like, all right, I'm going to sacrifice these things for the next 3 months, but I see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And that's huge.
Yeah.
And I agree. I'm a single mom, so I do it all on my own. My little one, my business, branching into social media. I love music, so I've gotten, and we're doing the podcast now. Like you said, I have many things that I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
And if you just kind of hit it with that conviction, but I am always struggling to balance between my daughter and the household and the business and myself.
Right.
So I just recently included myself into that mix. Before it was just everybody else and I was just dying in the corner,
But your cup, you can't pour from an
I've
empty
realized
cup.
that I can't, and it's not self-sustaining. And in order to be a better mother, businesswoman, and all of those things, I have to start with me.
Yeah.
So I just started that. And even that, I'm like, rushing to the gym, rushing home to shower, to rush to the meeting.
Well, and it's hard because you feel selfish too, which is such a weird battle for a woman, right? We feel like if we don't pour into our into our family the entire day, and we don't do things for ourselves, like as soon as we do something for ourselves, we're like, okay, it's gonna take up this much time, so I gotta you're planning around making time for yourself.
Over planning.
Insane. Yeah,
I do the same. I hear it in you. I'm very like, okay, well, I know it'll take me 10 minutes to get here, but if there's traffic, add 2 minutes, and I'm like, just ruminating. Like, is it really problem solving, or should I just go? And when I get there, we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? Like panicking about the couple minute differential. I'm just very particular like that. And I see you are too, but that makes you, I would assume, detail oriented and very effective in your line of work and with your children.
Yes. Well, I have to have multiple things going on at the same time because of the ADHD. Yeah, I wouldn't do great if I only had one thing. And I learned this really young. Like even when I was in high school, I modeled full time. I was in every extracurricular you can think of. I was a cheerleader. I was in drama. I was in student government. Like I was like, I'm going to be involved in everything. Yeah. And I realized that I thrived when I was involved in way more things, because when I didn't have things to do, I would like do worse. Like I would slack on all the things that were important to me. Mm-hmm. And like right now I was like, okay, I've been kind of slacking in my, in my beauty business. Like I really have to like step it up a notch. And it's just like, I have to find that balance again.
Yeah, it's like a highs and lows. I've honestly, since we're women and we're discussing openly, I'm starting to relate it to my cycle. Yeah. I used to think like it was just random. No. Like, no, it's very much so, I think, related to my cycle, how effective and clear and like focused I can be versus the days where I'm like, yeah, I could just stay here today. And
your hormones, I mean, they affect your chemistry, your brain chemistry, like everything changes hormonally. Like your cycle has a huge it makes a huge difference in everything. Like I thankfully no longer have one. I had to have a hysterectomy last year, which was really hard to like admit that I couldn't birth children of my own. Yeah. My boys have been my boys since they were 4 years old. So, a lot of people don't realize that when they first meet me, they're like, they sound like they're your kids. The way you talk about them, like they are my kids. Like, I don't know.
Period.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know any other way. Like I dreamed of having twins my whole life. I told my mom, I was adamant that I was going to have twin boys. I knew. My mom's like, you can't just have twin boys.
Chills, like girl. God does so things. Good. And the synchronicities that I see these days, again, maybe it's my age and the clarity. Maybe it was always there and I just didn't see it.
Well, and your discernment's different.
Yeah. but that is 1,000%. You
Oh,
are
yeah.
meant to be their mother.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
That's cool.
So I did want to just briefly touch on, because you and Tito are so high profile, how do you keep them humble? How do you, I know we talked briefly, but what is your lead on that?
Keeping kids humble is really, really hard, especially because of social media. And keeping them not feeling entitled is also very hard. I was raised very hands-on by my mom. She was a very tough mom. My mom and my dad separated when I was very young, but they were always so super involved. Like my dad
Together,
super
I love
involved,
that.
like still friends, still making sure I had the best life. So I never felt loss. I never felt like one wasn't in the picture, even if I didn't live with my dad. Like I felt like he was very much like he's on a pedestal. Like dad is like my hero, you know, and my mom is my hero. So, but you know, Tito comes from a different type of family. He was definitely neglected, and his life was very difficult, and he did need for things, simple things like food, like
Things we take for granted every day. Absolutely.
like love, like support, like a parent showing up for you, which
hug.
never happened.
Yeah.
So he overcompensates quite a lot. And I think a lot of parents do, like even, you know, if it's in the love department, if it's in the toys department, if it's in the cool clothes, whatever it may be that you kind of felt lacking when you were a child. I feel like a lot of parents, when they have the means, overdo it.
Absolutely.
And so I have to reel the boys back a lot because, you know, I'm the one who takes the things that they don't, you know, necessarily need. They don't need an Xbox. They don't need a cell phone. They don't need their Jordans.
Right.
You know, and I'll
Those are
pull 'em.
privileges.
Yeah, and I'll pull them if they, you know, if their behavior is wrong. You know, I'll take their cologne. Like I'm like, you do realize I buy all of these things. You know, Dad buys all of these things. So if I take it, it's on you. Like you have to earn these privileges, especially when they're things that make you feel really cool, you know. And, you know, kids have these catchphrases that, you know, one of our sons like, oh, this is neglect. I'm like, child, you don't even know what neglect is. I don't know what TikTok told you this is neglect, but I assure you this is not neglect.
It's so funny. I remember as a kid being like, I'm going to call CPS on you. And my mom being like, they're going to take you away. Like, it's just so funny to see the dynamic because I was the same, you know. This isn't right. This isn't fair.
Oh, yeah.
And I see it with my daughter that I do overcompensate. I definitely lean towards the Tito side of things. I need to embody the Amber side of things. But because I'm a single mom and it's just me, I think that plays a lot of the role where she's not getting from two, it's just from me. So I try to do so much more. And in this past year, I've seen it, I think it's the age too, behaviorally.
Right.
And I'm like, this isn't the sweet, nice girl that I raised.
Well, she's now finding her independent little spirit. So
it's tough.
It's where you will have to start putting your foot down. But, you know, these things that you put your feet down, it's fluff. It like when you take away the TV, when you take away you know, electronics, if you take away, you know, time, here's the thing. They're not going to die.
No.
They may cry. They're not going to be starving. Like you're not taking away food. You're
it's
not
going to ruin the relationship forever.
It isn't. And they can say that like, you know, oh, this is abuse. Like my son, you know, he was like, you corporally punish us. I'm like, okay, how exactly do we corporally? Like this is another catchphrase. I'm like, okay, well, who on TikTok told you we were corporate? He's like,
it sounds good.
You shave our heads. And I was like, and? I go, listen. I go, all these kids love that broccoli head thing, which I hate. Oh my God.
The curly hair.
They look like llamas. Like it is not cute.
Llamas.
Yeah, I'm like broccoli head, llama head, whatever. But, you know, when they mess up, especially if they get an F in school, like hair's gone. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
I love that.
And we used to shave it and they would cry the whole time we were doing it. And now Tito just brings his clippers out and hands it to them and makes them do their own hair. So they have to own the whole act.
I love that.
Yeah.
The only thing that I've done so far, so I've always done a very big birthday party every year, like well beyond my means, honestly, well beyond the time and energy that I have. Right. So with the way she was acting this year, I was like, you know what, we're just going to do something just local, couple friends. We'll go out to dinner. We'll have a cake. I'm not neglectful. Right. But we're not spending thousands on some extravagant party. And she was really upset about it, but no tears, no nothing. The day came and went. She had fun.
Yeah.
And I think just that one move kind of leveled things out a little bit for us, you know, and it's been on the upward since then. But it's definitely my doing. Yeah. So I can't even be upset with her. Like, I started this.
Right. But you know, and you've not gone too far where it's out of hand either. Yeah. Because you are rationalizing it already. You're like, okay, what's mean and what's not mean, right? Like what can I do to effectively like show her that this behavior is not good, but also to still be like her best friend.
I love you.
It's hard, right? You're like, I want to be your bestie, but also I'm your parent. Like, and that's what I tell my kids all the time. I'm like, listen, I may not be your friend and you may hate me right now. I go, but I'll never stop loving you.
But I love you.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know, your decisions make me mad at you. Yeah. Your decisions make me frustrated with you. They will never make me not love you.
Absolutely. That resonates so much. And you were talking about like, you know, the feelings and the hormones. And I constantly am checking myself. Like, did I just have a bad day? Is my patience a little more thin today? Yeah. You know, because it takes two to tango. I know I'm the mother and she's the daughter, but we vibe off of each other. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, and her being a female also, she's going to absorb your feelings too, because like women are more empathic than men are, obviously. So we absorb their feelings. So like I'm in a house of all boys. So I'm absorbing everything from three different minds, right? Like my husband is a very emotional man. Like he's got a lot going on. He's got a lot of stressors. Yeah. And then I've got my sons who think life is stressful, but it's definitely not, which it's like one is worried about his girlfriend. The other one is worried about his grades. Like, you know, they're all different. Yeah. But, you know, it's just we have a hard time not taking on their emotions. So I can't even imagine being a mom of a girl because everyone's like, it's totally different. Like the emotions are totally different. But you're checking it already. So you're in a good place.
And I do. You're right, though. I see at her age, she's at that age where like she'll lose it. And I'll be like, what's wrong? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, you mean that? You really? Because sometimes I don't know. Yeah. You know? And it's like she's teaching me throughout it, you know? We're growing together. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Well, and when she kind of loses it, like I used to tell my sons, you know, I'm like, all right, you know what? I think maybe you just need to like cry it out. Yeah. Like if you want to go in your room and just cry it out and like punch your teddy bear or your pillow and just get that energy out, like go for it. Go for it. Go get rid of that energy so that you're not upset with your brother. You're not upset with me. Like just release it.
Let's start fresh. Yes. And that's smart that you tell them to do that. Yeah. Well, I really appreciate our time together. I feel like I could talk to you for hours, especially being that they're teenagers and you have all that insight. And hopefully I can get you back on here for a part 2 sometime.
Yes, I would love it.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, yes, of course.
So that'll wrap up for episode 5. Please like, follow, subscribe, share. If you guys want to see anybody come on the podcast or if there's any topics that you'd like us to discuss, please message me, reach out, comment. This is for you guys and for us. It's a platform for women. So I would really love to hear from all the women what you think. Thanks for tuning in.